Hi, we're out on the range today, but with 6 inches of snow on the ground and a temperature of 17 degrees, you probably won't have to deal with gunfire in the background. Now I've got the meat target out here, and for those of you who haven't seen this, it's pork chops to simulate a pectoral muscle, pork ribs, followed by this bag of oranges to simulate lung tissue, more pork ribs on the back, and then as always the high-tech fleece bullet stop. And I've shot this with quite a few things, but recently some viewers asked if they could see it being shot with some hunting rifles, so here we are. And I'm going to start with this Savage Model 99E in caliber 300 Savage. And now it's loaded with a 150 grain pointed soft point bullet, which will come out of this rifle at about 2,600 feet per second. So the 300 Savage is maybe a half step behind a 308. So let's go back 25 yards, shoot the meat target, and see what happens. Well, that's not bad at all. And would you believe the fleece bullet stop did not stop the bullets? Now that Savage rifle belongs to a colleague of mine. This one is my personal deer hunting rifle, and it's a Marlin Model 444 in caliber 444 Marlin. Interesting thing about this caliber is that when it was first introduced back in the 1960s, the main manufacturer of ammunition was Remington. And the ammunition they were making at the time was loaded with a 240 grain flat nose semi-jacketed bullet, which was the exact same bullet they were using in the 44 Magnum ammunition they were making at the time. So it was intended to expand at velocities around 12 or 1300 feet per second, 44 Magnum ballistics. When you put it in this rifle with a velocity around 2200, you got a lot of expansion, poor penetration, and a lot of people were not happy with the amount of penetration they got on really large game. I can personally attest to that, having shot a buffalo with this rifle, and that ammunition just didn't cut it. Now what I'm shooting today are my personal hand loads, which exacerbate that problem because I'm loading it with 240 grain XTP hollow points, which are made to deliver a lot of expansion at 44 Magnum ballistics. And not only that, my hand loads up the velocity of this rifle from the 2200 to around 2400. And so for hunting big game like buffalo or elk, it's not what I'm going to want. But for deer, it's been very effective. I usually get 100% penetration, very impressive wound channels, and it's really good for hunting in places when you're on private property and you don't want that deer to run over onto the next guy's private property. This usually solves that problem. So let's see how it'll do against the meat target. And there's the exit hole through the ribs on the back. And that's really pretty representative of some of the deer I've shot with this rifle. Now I've got one more rifle I want to show you. This is a Ruger M77, and it's in caliber 338 Winchester Magnum. And I've got it loaded with Remington green and yellow box, 225 grain pointed soft point. Yeah, I'd say that was moderately effective. And would you believe that the high-tech fleece bullet stop didn't stop this bullet either? So that was fun, but did we really learn anything? Well, if you've seen some of the presentations where we've shot the meat target with handgun cartridges, and you can see just how much more damage these rifles did, you can gain an appreciation for just how powerful some of your deer hunting cartridges are. So as always, don't try this at home. I'm what you call a professional, and thanks for watching the Hunting Rifles versus the Meat Target video.